Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and welcome to part 6 of our wonderful mall series, double modular, where today we'll be doing the entire ground floor middle section. Awesome! Well, usually I start with a whole raft of amendments suggested by you, my wonderful subscribers, for the bit that I did in the last section, which was this wonderful mobile phone shop. But it must have been so perfect because, well, I had very few ones worth doing, quite frankly. The main one I did get was just flipping the phone around in E.T.'s hand as part of the sign, so it looked like he was using it, which is a bit minor if you ask me. I'm not sure if that's worth a bedoing, but I am feeling generous, so I will give you one. So really, we're going straight on with the build today, and as usual, I'm going to start with a tile layer on the bottom, so it looks like out of all these bags making up the parts for today's build, this is probably where I need to start. Let's get going. Ho, this is where I start to get excited. All of my long-held plans becoming a reality, and yes, it's looking good already. I can anticipate what's coming. But just to orientate you, with this tile level done, this medium azure and medium blue checkered bit will be another store at the back, a shop with a logo in the floor as well as above the door. Then we've got this rather bold grey and dark bluish grey tile check for the pavement outside, and although that might seem quite in your face at the moment, a bit too stark, I think it will make more sense when we've got all the other buildings in place because they're even brighter and they'll draw your eye away from it, so I think it will look quite good actually. The next section here is a stairway up to the next level, which will be kind of here. We won't be doing that today, and then we've got the passage all the way through to the arch and those back stairs. But I didn't want to waste any space at all, of course, in this packed and stacked build. So we've actually got another doorway underneath the stairs into this area here with the dark turquoise tiles. And that will be, yes, a public lavatory. Wow, that's a surprise for a Robin Hood Bricks build. He doesn't usually put those in, no, but here it seemed quite appropriate for such a large build to have public toilets, so that's what I'm going to do. Great, so what is this store in the middle that we've got these shelves on each side? Well, it's going to be a travel agent, and this is going to be the lady running it. I thought her choppy hair and her sort of adventurous outfit, where she was the female hero from the 5887 Dino Defense HQ set in 2012, was very appropriate for that, selling wonderful adventures to the public. So she'll be based in there with lots of brochures and all the rest of it. And to make that even more obvious, I wanted to use this space in the floor to put in basically some wonderful tiles from the recent Ideas set, the Globe, which was set 21332. And that was from 2022. So we've got 4 of these sort of curved ones as well that go around that to make a rather fantastic compass that was part of that map, but also looks great in the floor in front of what will be the door. So yeah, that looks really nice. I love the gold against that dark blue. So that's what's going in there. One more thing I wanted to do at the foot of this stairs was put in, yep, you guessed it, a tread plate. So what I'm going to do for the very bottom step is put in one of these 2x4 ones. But I thought then if it was all on one light grey tile, it wouldn't really match with this checkered floor. So I've actually done a bit of sticker surgery and cut one of those stickers in half, removing it first of all using my patented hot tea technique. And then putting half on, well, the 2 different ones, and right up to the very edge. So when I put those 2 in place, yeah, it kind of looks like one tread plate. There's a little bit of a line in the middle, but I don't think we can help that. Anyway, that looks pretty good if you ask me. And then another piece that I've been dying to use is these wonderful panel pieces, the 1x6x5 ones with the aspen trees on. They came in 2 Frozen 2 sets, including 41165, Anna's Canoe Expedition from 2019. And I thought they looked mildly travel-y and definitely very bright. So I thought they could be the backdrop to the travel agent store, where they'd look rather fantastic and start to cover up the backside of this Nyan Cat mural that we don't want shining through into this side. So that will be a double wall. I've got more of that to do, obviously, and in the bathroom area as well. But yeah, we're already starting to add some really interesting details that will make this build absolutely fantastic. Cool, right, so I think what I'll do now is probably the rest of the interior of the travel agent, because unless we do that next, we really aren't going to be able to see it. And something that you didn't actually notice last time, unless you were eagle-eyed, was the fact that we've got an arrivals and departures board on the other side of this panel that we used for the phone shop and the Vodafone sign. That was from an old airport set, 3182. Which is the one with the red plane, and that was always on there. It came on that piece. So that is the up-to-date travel details for the airport, which, well, won't be too far from this build after all. Cool. All right, so there's the back wall complete with those aspens, and I think that looks rather good, actually. Bit of a mural on the inside to match the one on the outside of that wall. As I said, we've got the departures board there, so this shelf just needs loads and loads of brochures and things like that. So ones that I've got from all of my hauls are this Heart Lake City brochure, in case you wanted to go on holiday there. That came with a 41106 Popstar tour bus, and I can just put that on those two studs there. And then the next one, I thought I'd go for some video tiles, and this one seemed quite appropriate with loads of pandas on. So maybe this is a brochure to go to China and see the giant pandas in the wild. And then another one, which I thought there might be two copies of, just slightly overlapping, was this one with the Indian dancer on. So maybe this was about travel to the exotic areas of India. Who knows? But that looks rather fantastic as well. And a very colourful shelf as well, just with the colours of the tiles, let alone the stickers. So I really like that. And then next on that wall, I'm going to add just a chest of drawers, which has probably got all sorts of other details in for the lady that works there. And that kind of interrupts our mural on the back. But I think that makes it look a lot more realistic when things are kind of behind other things, a lot more lifelike. Then we need the lady herself, who's got a map in her hand, showing off some sort of river delta. Maybe that's a really adventurous holiday there. So I'll put her back there. And she's sat in front of a massive desk, which has got another map on with the Great Wall of China, a post-it note and a keyboard. So that can go all there. Right. And then that can go like that, like she's checking through all of her maps. So I think that's a really nice, interesting internal scene. Then for her screen, I wanted to use another sticker from that same airport set, the 3182 airport, and that's just another departures board. So maybe she's actually booking a flight right now. So I've moved that onto an inverted tile just so I can make my own kind of little computer build. Really, it's kind of like a desktop computer, just with a curved slope on there, a jumper plate there, so it can fit in with a round tile there, which will be the base of it. A bit fiddly to get all this in. There we go. And then that can be one of those tiltable screens that she can show the people who are booking the holiday exactly what they're going for. So yeah, that side's already very packed and stacked. As for the other side, a bit harder to show you, but let's try there. I'm just going to fill in one more section of this wall, but just to show you that on the other side is a toilet roll dispenser, very vital for what's going on the other side of that wall. So that's going there. Then we need more brochures here. I've got two, what are actually postcards in the set 8404, but essentially I thought they combined could be just the front page of a brochure, or maybe they're two smaller brochures stacked on top of each other, but with the sunshine setting over a city and palm trees with beaming rays of sunshine, I thought that would be perfect. And then another video tile being this beach ball one. So that's obviously a beach holidays catalogue, and that's on jumper plates as well. So it's overlapping the other one just so slightly, but that makes it look really 3D, just like we've got on the other side. And then I will need to complete more of this wall, of course, but what I'm also going to mount up there is a big airport 2x4 red tile, which looks really nice. That came with the recent passenger aeroplane set, 60262 from 2020. So I'll probably just put that there. So when this is all boxed in, absolutely every flat surface is going to have something on it. And I've deliberately left this little bit of shelf with nothing on it, so It looks like some have been picked up. Maybe that's where the maps were a moment ago. Yeah, so that's looking really good, and you can see that compass a bit closer up now. There's tiny, tiny flashes of the green base plate shining through around the edges there, but, so what? I'm not too bothered about that. So next we'll have some glass windows in and some window displays, more importantly, and then we can do the front where we'll have a nice 3D sign, obviously. Right, well, I finished the wall down here, and I think it's looking rather sweet. It is a little unit, but it's absolutely full of colour and interest, and you can immediately tell what it is, which I think is always a good acid test. I've added a waste paper basket in the corner by way of a bucket piece, and now I think I can start to close it in. So other things that I got for the window display, which I think should also be really vivid, is these pieces from that globe set. Again, the 21332. And I got one of each colour on Lego bricks and pieces. Green one saying South America, a blue one saying Indian Ocean, and a dark tan one saying Australia. Well, 3 very nice locations for your holidays. So I wanted to put those actually in the window. So I've had to basically make a few setups to hold them, and that is this with 2 modified bricks pointing outwards, and this pole just for support on the inside. And another one that I'm going to add just to make a 4, so there's 2 for each window, is this wonderful safari tile. Focus on that, with some elephants, and that came in 2 sets, including 31116 Safari Wildlife Treehouse from 2021. So I'm just going to put that on the top jumper. I'm going to put South America on the bottom jumper and have that kind of there in a window. So I'm going to have to add these at the same time because they stick out into the window area. So that can go down there with that in there. Woo, missed the stud. There we go. And then just to secure it in place, I'm pushing the pole into the second jumper that's behind it. So there we go. There is one with a Safari and South America sign on the inside. And then I can do the same on the other side with Australia on the top, Indian Ocean on the bottom. I have to get them quite steep to fit in this window. It's really difficult to play around with, but I think the result will be a good one. So there we go. Push all of that down at the same time. Push the pole down to secure it. And then we've got lots of wonderful adverts for exotic locations in the windows. Maybe I should flip around the South America so it sort of toes the other way, or maybe they're all right looking the same direction. I'm not sure, actually. Tell me what you think of that. Then I can add the central door, and I'm going to use one of these more recent 6-wide ones, so it's a double door. And for the door handles, I've added some dots tiles that have got a globe on them with a little face on, but why not? So they look very appropriate too. So that can go in there. And then to secure the poles further, I'm just going to put this onto each side, and that will hold the inside bit in place to the window, and I can join the whole lot together with that. So it's nice and secure. So again, I think with the compass and all these destinations on the outside, and definitely when you peer into the inside, you should know immediately that it's a travel agent. So yeah, I quite like that. I'm really glad I managed to use these really big pieces from the globe. Then on to our bathroom over here. We're going to have the commode itself here facing that way. So this wall is going to have the mirror on, and there are lots of different ones that I've been getting in brick calls, like this one that I could use, but I decided to use this rather nice round one, even though it's slightly damaged on the bottom, because, well, a mirror could be damaged, and I just really liked its shape. So that's on a 1x4x3 panel, and that little bit there is a modified plate that represents the tap, and that can go all in there, and the basin with one of those panel pieces. Golly, this is hard to reach in. Oh, can I do that? There we go. Fantastic. And then you'll see I've also got 2 studs on the wall, and that's for a very modern, slim, low-profile hand dryer. I thought that would be that. So that can go on there. And already this is full with everything you might need. Well, apart from the toilet itself there. So, yeah, that's looking good. Oh, and you can see it all reflecting in the window. Mirror. Yeah, that's looking good. Cool. So yeah, lots to see there. Lots of details. Maybe I'll have this open. I don't know. Welcoming. yeah, I'm liking it. Let's keep going. Well, people who watch my channel often will know that it is absolutely obligatory to have a 3D sign on every shop, and this one is no exception. So I finished that top wall, and now we can attach this backdrop for the sign. Now I've got the blue quarter tiles along all the bottom to represent the waves, and the blue solid tiles on the top to represent the sky, because at least from the UK, if you're going abroad, you pretty much have to either go by boat or air after all. And then for the middle, I thought I'd add a 2x6 tile with the name of the shop on it, and that name will be The Earth, with that map backdrop as well, and that also obviously is from that globe set 21332, but I thought that was too good to not use here as well. So then we need the 3D elements, so I thought I would put a boat on the waves and a plane in the sky. So my boat is rather fantastic, if I do say so myself, with lovely sails made out of this flag piece and this horn piece, with the cabins on in top in tan, and then the rest in red, with a headlight brick acting as the connection point. So it's rather a traditional sailboat, but I think that's the one you'd put on the sign rather than one of the great big new modern cruise liners. So that is there, very nice. And in the same colour scheme, I've made this aeroplane. So we've got, again, well, what are they, horns? I don't know, almost like blade pieces for the wings in red. And then I've got a boomerang piece built into there for the tail, of course. So there we go, that is the aircraft element, and that can go at a diagonal angle as well. So there is my 3D sign, and I think, well, if you don't know it's a travel agent now, then there must be something wrong with you. Right, this is going to be hard to push on without destroying my new creations, but yep, there we go. It's all on. Just arrange that and that at a nice angle like it's sailing on the sea, and I think that looks pretty good. Very colourful. I don't think that will get in the way of the floor above, because it will end there on that line. So I think we're all right there. So now that looks absolutely fantastic. And you can even see the lady with all her maps on the inside there as well, in amongst all those window signs. So yeah, looking rather fantastic, if I do say myself. So that one is now done, if it does need a little more pushing down. But now we've still got the stairs and the rest of the toilet to do. And for the throne itself, I've just got this very simple setup with 3 jumper plates on. The top one can have a silver button for a flush. The front one can have a bit of water for the inside of the bowl. And then one of those pieces for the seat. Yeah. And that can go there. And then we're really starting to box things in, because then I've got a dark turquoise wall to go in there, and then we're going to have one flight of stairs going from there to kind of, well, that back wall, and another one overlapping with it to go up to the top, because it's not quite the same height, so we've had to be quite clever with that. Right, so yeah, so I need something so we can't see any of this base plate through the slats of the stairs. I need a door for the toilet. I need to finish this wall up as well, and then, well, we'll be able to get upstairs, won't we? Well, after doing all that detail on the inside of the bathroom, we're about to brick it completely in, really. You'll be able to period it through the door, but you'll have to crane your neck even to do that. And when we're in the Lego room, I'm not sure even that will be possible. So take a good look. That is the mirror and the sink and the hand dryer and so on. It will soon be covered up. So one thing I added to the door was this wonderful sticker from the Downtown Fire Brigade set 60216. From 2019. I think that'll be really good on there. And because it's going to be quite hard to put in and quite hard to see even for minifigures passing by who may well be crossing their legs, I added a second one onto a yellow curved slope here that's on a bracket piece as well. So that can all be attached above the door, so it can be seen from a much wider angle. So I think that looks really good. I really like that yellow, actually. It really pops. You'll see there's 2 more studs on the wall there. So I'm just going to add another advert for my beach party that's currently going on the beach of Brick Nottingham. And that was part of the bus station set 60154, where it was on the side of the bus stop. So I'm just going to have that on that wall. So the area still looks really busy, and you'll see there's a lamp there on the wall as well. And I'm just going to add a pair of my signature refuse bins against this wall. Got that on my previous modular fast food corner. If you haven't seen that series, check it out. And here's a recycling one with a sticker on the front and on the top. So the sort of big bins you see throughout the city. So they look good there as well. Fantastic. So that's kind of the corridor filled. Then for the stairs themselves. So first of all, I need to, I've added these to block the horrible view of what would be base plate and the rear of this wall from the inside. So I'm going to add a little bit more there and then put the first flight of stairs there, linking that to that. Very nice indeed. And then because it's not tall enough for a whole nother set of stairs, actually, I've had to make an interesting setup where the first step is kind of hidden inside the build, and it's the second step that's level with this sort of midway landing. So that will sort of slide in there. So to fill in that gap, we need a brick in there and a plate with a couple of 1x1 plates on as well to go in there. And then we've got kind of a small stopping point halfway up the stairs before they continue, and then we can close it all off at the top there, and it's pretty much done. So what do I need to do now? Well, I just need to tile this little bit here on top of the stairs, which is going to be slightly raised from the rest of this tile level, which will help us locate the top roof section on when we get to that on a future video. And then I also need to add some tread plate stickers to all of these stairs. Whoops. And just in case you were concerned that I didn't have potentially enough to do all this, well, you'd be wrong. I've got absolutely plenty because everyone keeps sending them in to me because they know how much I love them. So I'm going to fish out some ones for that and get them aligned nicely using my patented hot tea technique, and then put them in place on this build. But I'm really loving that toilet sign. It just really fills up a very boring corner, and that beach party sign as well, and even these bins. That looks really good. So yeah, the middle section's starting to look pretty packed and stacked as well. But yeah, let's get this finished and then we can take a look at the whole thing. Wow, 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 look at that. Looking rather fantastic when it's all finished like that. No studs showing. All the tread plate tiles in place. All of the tiles at this raised bit in place, with even a hint of the bright pink and medium azure sort of check that's on that corridor upstairs. Looking rather fantastic. And one of the tread plate stickers, I've actually used a 1x2 tile and a 1x2 jumper plate. And I've used scissors to cut out the tread plate stickers around the join and the stud there. And that's just so I can add a man walking down the steps halfway between one floor and the next. And I think that just helps the transition of the two floors for the eye. And I think that looks really good. So we've got the best of both worlds there, connection point and continuous tread plate stickers. I like that a lot. Talking of stickers, I've added a couple more Friends ones on the bottom windows here to mirror what we did on the skate shop. One says adventure and one says camp. So that's very good indeed. Absolutely crammed for detail there as well. I've put the bike back in the corridor, and wow, yeah, it's just looking so fantastic with all those different bright colours. Every flat surface has got something happening on it. More 3D signs. Yeah, so bright and so much going on. I absolutely love it. Now, a lot of people thought that I might be doing an escalator instead of stairs to get from one level of my mall to another. And I did experiment with that idea because there was one done in the Friends Mall set. But there's a couple of problems with it, essentially. Firstly, it needs a lot of space to turn around at the bottom, and you end up having about 2 normal steps anyway before you can get on the escalator just to accommodate the mechanism. So that doesn't look that great. It isn't really worth it for such a short distance. Secondly, because an escalator only goes one way, you would need to have 2 of them side by side, one up, one down. And, well, that's just going to take a lot of space up that would be better used for, well, this central unit or the toilet or something like that. So I think this is the right balance. Although it's a low-tech solution, I think it looks pretty good. And, well, any excuse to use tread plate stickers is all right by me. So I think it's a pretty good outcome after all. So that is our ground floor almost done. There's one glaring space left, and that, I think, if you don't want to hear a spoiler, plug your ears. This is going to be the vinyl record store. So we've got quite a big footprint. It's going to go right to the edge of this on all sides because we'll have the road plate pavements around it still when it's in the city. And that will be another one that's bright, packed and stacked with 3D signs galore. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing that next time. But for now, I can add on the other parts that we've done to this so far so we can see the rest of it. And wow, yeah, it's looking so busy, isn't it? Absolutely full and really great. And there's those colours that are bouncing off there. Oh, it's going to be great when we've got a much bigger section of that all over here as well. And this side's going up 2 more stories as well. Don't worry, Pigsy will not be in this position. He'll be mounted about here on the next floor up. Cool. So, yeah, wow. Have you got any ideas to make this better? Do let me know, or do tell me if there's any amendments that you'd suggest. Otherwise, I think that's a pretty good build. Awesome. So as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. And if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. Do check out the links in the description below. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, we'll be doing a brick haul, getting more pieces for more fabulous projects in the future. And then on Friday, we'll be doing another MOC build. And then next Monday, we'll be doing the next part of this mall, which will be what I mentioned in the spoiler. So until all of that, see you. Yeah. That is cool.